Over? Did you say over? Nothing is over until we decide it is. Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? Hell no!
Germans? Forget it, he's rolling.
That's going to be the theme for today. Is it over? It's never over. Why? Because it's the New York Football Giants. It's the start of the 2024 season. We had the start. Excuse me, everyone. We had the start, of course, last Sunday on that beautiful home opener. Gorgeous skies. 100 of the best Giant players, family and friends, and the players themselves there, giving away the coin. Beautiful day with James Williams. And then we put up the proverbial stinker. Now we're going against a Washington team that the secondary, I think in some regards, is more suspect than ours. Who has a rookie quarterback who just, this is, if you look at the Giants, the Anacles of Giant history with Daniel Jones, well, I believe is 5-0 against the Washington team. Well, one tie too, but this should be a game you win. This should be a game. Blackbird is on his way to the game. I forget Blackbird's on his way to the game. I wish I was streaming the game because then I would have Blackbird come in with unsolicited, unresponsive opinions about what's going on in the fiasco. But in the Anacles of Giants history, this should be a win. We should be 1-1. I said with the first two games of the season, we were going to start the season 1-1. I thought we were going to win. Well, excuse me, guys. It was a long day. Yesterday was a long day. A lot of time in the car. A lot of time in the car, basically to get nowhere. Then things that you just think are going to work out just don't fucking work out. But got some. I'm home. Everyone's home, so that's a good news. But this should be a game they take. This should be a game that we start 1-1 and then potentially lose 7 in a row. Well, let's go to Mike Lee real quick. Good morning, Tim, and fellow Cult members. Smash that like button on the way in. Yeah, make sure you smash the like button, please, because that would be nice. That would be helpful. What else, guy? We need Ghost Twins to show up. We do. We need Casper the Friendly Ghost and his brother. I don't know another ghost. What was the name of the ghost in Patrick Swayze's movies? Let's see. We're going to go 3 for 3 on Mike Lee. Another winnable game, but will we steal defeat out of the jaws of victory? Come on, Mike. How's the ninja? Says Big Blue forever. Ninja, we haven't really cooked the ninja yet that much, so we're still working on the ninja. We'll talk about the ninja later. Joe Rev, good morning, Mr. Online Big Blue, sir, and G-Man family. Let the stress begin. Listen, you think the Giants secondary is suspect, and we kind of talked about this on Friday. The secondary of the Commanders is just a suspect. You need to unleash the Kraken, also known as Daniel Jones. Sorry, I got something caught my throat. You need to unleash the passing game. You got to get Malik Neighbors somehow deep into the secondary. He's got to find that little spot in the zone where Danny Dimes can miss him completely wide open. You have to find that way, because I do think they'll control the line of scrimmage with the running game. In reference to the Washington will control the Giants running game. So you have the wherewithal, if you are a good team, to attack the deficiencies of the Washington team. And that's going to be the secondary. You have enough players. I mean, honestly, we don't have a lot of skilled players outside of Neighbors. Let's be honest. Darius Slayton is a 3rd and 4th wide receiver on another team. We said it before. Wan'Dale Robinson should be used as a Darren Sproles type player. And we don't. No clue why. Jalen Hyatt can't get his ass on the field. Tight end position is just Theo Johnson better become something, because Bellinger equals Caden Smith. So you're going to have to rely heavily on the likes of Wan'Dale Robinson and Malik Neighbors to get somewhere into this secondary and cause havoc. But the question is the offensive line going to hold up? And a lot of it's not even the offensive line. A lot of it is just the quarterback itself not having the ability to make decisions. It's the indecision of the quarterback which really kills us. So is he going to be decisive today? Is he going to be the X factor, Daniel Jones? Is he going to be that X factor? 50-50. Hopefully, he got the nut. He literally got the rust knocked off him.
That's what she said.
Sorry, he got the rust knocked off him by Minnesota. And I said it before the Minnesota game. I don't think Minnesota is a top 15 defense. I think they're between like 17 and 22. But it was going to be a good litmus test in reference to what the Giants have to offer. And they didn't have a lot. So against a below average defense with a suspect secondary where you could probably exploit, you have to hope your quarterback can do this. And I think it's going to be the zen of Daniel Jones coming out. He'll have his 17 for 30 game for 200 yards and a touchdown, and people will be like, he's back. I've never seen a portion of the fan base. Imagine this. A place of sight and sounds. Sorry, a little Twilight Zone there. But imagine you are the Kansas City Chiefs. And Patrick Mahomes' big season was 3,000 yards and 15 touchdowns. Imagine you are the Bills. And Josh Allen's big season is 3,000 yards and 15 touchdowns. Not to mention the fact that Josh Allen has put up 5 straight 4,000 yard seasons. He's averaged 32 touchdowns over the last, 4 4,000 plus yard seasons. He's averaged 32 touchdowns over the last 4 years and 15 interceptions. That's elite money. That's a quarterback. Our quarterback gets 15 touchdowns and 3,000 yards, and the Panty Boys want to cream themselves. James says, I really don't see the Giants winning this game, and I can see them going 0-17 because Jones can't get the job done. He plays scared. Daniel Jones does look scared. He does have these. If you ever seen go back and watch any quarterback that's taken a beating, any quarterback that's now fearful to be in that pocket, their eyes are like these big ass. Hello, I'm Daniel Jones. I can see through time. That's what you have to. But the problem is he can't see through time because he can't see down the field. And I don't want to say he's got bug eyes because that's mean to people that have that type of disease. But you see his eyes. Those eyes are crying. These eyes have seen a lot of love, but they're never gonna. Sorry, I'm not gonna sing today. But you see his eyes. They're not scanning the field. They're looking for the rush. They are looking for the rush to get to you. Would you ever have to go somewhere? Like you're in a hurry to go somewhere and everything just goes fucking wrong. Never happened. I just still keep thinking about yesterday. I'd rather talk about yesterday than the Giant game. Having a good time, rolling along, shit hits the fan, and then you're rushing to get home. And then you just want to go to bed. Woke up this morning. Woke up late this morning. I was like, I just want to go to bed. I just want to stay in bed. It's been a long fucking day. I'm tired of everyone being sick. Speaking of being sick, Mike Lee says, no stress on my part. I don't accept much from this team for a while. Even if somehow we get rid of DJ next year, it will be a few before we are completely inconsistent. You know what? Manning looked good. I'm going to start the Arch Manning shirts. Manning in 2025. Joe Rev says, just getting this out of the way. Giants 13. Dude, come on, dude. It's 24. Come on, Eileen. We're going to do the score today. We are going to give away. We're not going to do it now, so you're going to have to stay tuned so your scores don't count. I'm going out of the box and giving away one of the Giant rings from my, whatever this thing is over here. This doohickey. I'm giving away one of these rings from here. The Giants season ticket holder box. He's on the way to the game. Hope is there any hope left? Please give us some hope. Here's the hope. I'm gonna give you like Zach Attack says, I'm gonna give you some hopium. If the Giants can exploit this secondary, If the Giants' defensive line, the edge mainly, the ends mainly, can control the line of scrimmage and keep Jaden in the pocket and not allow him to use his wheels and can limit the run game, which I don't think they can, but basically just take just eliminate the run game a little bit of Washington, the Giants can win. And they have the players at times to do this. I mean, you're paying, you got two guys. One's a 5th rounder. One guy you're paying $140 million. They need to be dominant because this I hate using the proverbial term. This is a must-win game, but it's a must-win. Week 2 should not be a must-win game because if you take a look at the Giants' schedule after week 2, it doesn't get any easier for a while. And so this would be, to me, this would be the game you have to pencil in as, okay, we can win this game. Because then you're from Washington, you're going to Cleveland, your Thursday night primetime against the Cowboys, you're going to Seattle, the Bengals are coming in, the Eagles are coming in, you're going to the Steelers, and the next games that you finally get a little reprieve, you have the Commanders and the Panthers, but then you hit a wall called the Buccaneers, the Cowboys, the Saints, the Ravens, the Falcons, the Colts, and the Eagles. So proverbially, technically, you could probably win 3 games. Unless unless the Ravens bus doesn't show up. Blackbird says Daniel Jones and Kayvon Thibodeau will bounce back this week. They have to. They're going up against not a good team. My bottom rankings is basically 30 Washington, 31 New York, 32 Carolina. It's the bottom bowl.
That's what she said.
I'm expecting the Giants to lose to Zag Attack. Give us 2-0 start. I gave us a 2-0 start this season. I gave us a 1-1 start. 1-1. Because I thought we were going to win at home. I thought the crescendo of the ceremony and all the players and home opener, and I thought that was just going to be the driving force. And I thought we would lose in Washington because I thought that we'll just have that letdown game. It's the like I said before, we said it.
It's a trap.
I thought this was a trap game. It's amazing that I thought week 2 in the last 15 sentences, it's a trap game and it's a must-win game. That shouldn't be on week 2. Zach Attack says, I don't know what is a bigger dumpster fire, my ex job, because they both are dumpster fires. Zach, you got to tell everyone what happened. We got Big Michael coming in. Michael, well, shouldn't you be doing some stuff, Michael? Shouldn't you be getting ready? Come on, G-Man, give us a win. We also have Zach Attack saying the 1995 film Casper. There was an animated spinoff, Spooktacular New Adventures of Casper's. Casper's uncles are the ghostly trio. Oh, Stench, Stinky, and Fatso. Okay. There's always Blinky, Inky, and Pinky. Come on, Clyde too. Burns and Thibodeau have to show up in order for us to win. They do have to show up. This week can no longer be an excuse if they have another disappearing game. This can no longer be, you no longer have an excuse for Casper, the friendly pass rusher. You can't. He has had good games against Washington. Kayvon has. And this is a team that you should be able to exploit with a 4-man rush. Because that's what they like to do. That's what our old buddy Shane Bowen likes to do. And can you not drop Burns into coverage, please? Just throwing that out there.
Hey kids, look over there. Who is it? It's Kayvon, the friendly pass rusher. Oh no, now he's gone.
Pale Rider says, who's ready for some disappointment? Some Sunday night disappointment. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Chris, what's up, big Chris? Daniel Jones is cooked. Shane is an imposter. Dable wants to get fired based on what I see. And we're going to beat the Commanders. I don't think so. Here's the thing. The answers and the way Dable speaks to the press. We've talked about this. Since the Giants started 7-2. I think they're like 8-16-1. And I've said this before. You can be this sullen guy. You could be truculent. You could sit there and be very Belichickian. You could be Parcell. You could be Parcellian. If you're winning. When you give these short responses, these little quips, this little attitude when you're losing, you just kind of come off as an asshole. Sorry, Dave. You kind of come off as an asshole a little bit. Said it before. You can say I'm cocky. You say what? I say, well, you ain't bragging, motherfucker. You can back it up. You back it up. You could do whatever you want to do. You could grow fungus on your shower shoes. But when you lose, and you lose poorly, and your team looks ill-prepared against the team that we thought going into the season that you would be on the same level with because of Sam Darnold and some of their age, and you get smoked, and then you come out and act like you act during these press conferences. It's very asshole-esque. The 7-2 Dable is gone. The 8-16-1 Dable is here. You got it right. It's Daniele. Oh, what do we got here? What does David say? If Washington closes off the middle and forces Jones to pass to the side, they will win because Jones doesn't know how to turn his head. Otherwise, I think the Giants have a good chance. The Giants have a chance. They have a chance. They do. But the problem is, so many things have to go our way. You're right. Daniel Jones is going to have to look through the field. Daniel Jones is going to have to scan the field. He's going to have to look off one wide receiver and shift over and go to another one. He is going to have to try to find the open man. He's going to have to take his eyes away from looking down at the rush and actually look forward. That's what he's going to do.
Telling me there's a chance. Yeah!
So there's always a chance, but that's what he's going to have to do. He's going to have to actually look downfield. Something he didn't even do in his 3,000 yards, 15 touchdown season. The funniest thing is going to be this, and this is why I laugh. This is what's going to crack me up. For the sake of all sakes, let's say Daniel Jones, let's say the Giants beat this team 35-17. Daniel Jones throws for 300 yards and 2 touchdowns because he always plays well against Washington, except for that one overtime game where they wouldn't let him throw the ball back in the playoff season. But let's just say for the sake that he plays extremely well. The neophytes are going to sit out there, and then we are going to have to hear for a week how Daniel Jones is back, how he knocked the rust off. He was just rusty because they hadn't played in such a long time. He played in preseason. I don't understand this with people with rust. I really don't. He went through the entire training camp. He went through the joint practices. He played in preseason, but somehow he was still rusty. Got to think about that one for a little bit. He was still rusty. But we're going to have to hear for a week how wonderful he is. And then when he gets the shit kicked out of him in Cleveland, then he sucks again. It just makes me nauseous. Good morning, Mr. Sanders. What's up? Not sure what to expect today after watching Manning play last night. Oh, God. Manning looked great. Manning looked good. Sanders looked good. Florida State looks terrible. But it's going to be interesting. What's going on, Tim? You know what's going on? This whole world's going on. This whole giant land is going on. Look at this. Look at that. There's a window here where it's got like, with this hand, I think it is. There's a window over there that's got like stained glass. Joe Shane is a patch as you go GM. He's the type of guy that doesn't do maintenance on his house and plans for a rainy day. He waits until the problem exasperates and then reacts emotionally. I've said this before. The Giants are a cut and paste team. And a lot of people say, Tim, what do you mean they're a cut and paste team? They just try to cut and paste pieces together, even though they may not fit or may not make sense, and hope it's going to work. Did this team need a Brian Burns? No. Because you're not a playoff team. But you still went out and spent the majority of your cap space on a guy that on the NFL Network, after the day he signed that contract, $140 million contract, said, good deal for the Giants, but you just gave $140 million for an 8-sack guy. I didn't say that. The NFL Network said it. And I love it because it goes, and I love now everyone's like, these guys have a tendency to disappear. Yeah, we've been saying this since before training camp. And we have been saying since training camp, our biggest fear on this channel is what if Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau both have their disappearing acts on the same day? What's going to happen? 4 tackles, 1 quarterback hit between the two of them, and Kayvon got benched. That's what's going to happen. I have Jones, 2 touchdowns, 200 yards passing. Okay, Big T. Florida State's dead. Florida State is truly dead. They are dead. They are gone. They are buried. Did Shane, what is now the second time in like 3 years or 4 years they've started 0-3. Did Shane go to a college game this weekend? You know what? Honestly, I don't know. What's up, RF? Good morning. Good morning, OG Knockout. Tim, you're sick too. Something's going around, man. I had the flu last week. Same with most of the it's COVID. It's the COVID wrecking the house. And it's still wrecking the house. It's a long story. We're all getting there though. March for Annie. Ooh, March for Arch. I like that. I like March for Arch, but thank you, Pimp. Yeah. Thank you, sir. March for Arch. Mr. Weaver says, good morning, Tim. Sip on some coffee. If we lose, I see them benching DJ. And no, please, for the love of God, if Arch Manning's wants 3-2, I don't want him. Listen, I would take any quarterback right now. Runs at 3-2, I don't want him. I would right now. I would take anyone. I would literally take anyone. We should do a poll. You know, I figured out how to do a poll the other day, and I don't remember how to do it. Mr. Sanders says, I got 17-13 G-men. Zach says, I wonder if Joe Judge destroyed Jones' confidence. Remember 2020, the Steelers game? Jones made some good throws, then a big mistake. Judge told him not to throw deep. No, I think his lack of a talent and lack of ability is what his biggest problems are. I love these people, and it's mainly people inside New York. Daniel Jones has all the skills. He's got all. There. See, there's the. You can see it on my shoulder there. You can see it on my shoulder. See, there's a stained glass window. He's got all the skills to pay the bills. He's got all the tangibles, all the talents. I look at Daniel Jones and I'm like, I see an average arm. I've seen an average. It's been an average arm for, I don't know, years. I see an inability to read defenses. I see no pocket awareness. I see no natural feel for the game of football. You could tell when Patrick Mahomes has this natural feel for the game. Even when shit breaks down, he's still moving, he's still grooving, he's still sliding, he's still living, he's still living large. Daniel Jones just does not have a natural feel for football. Maybe he's good at basketball. Here's good at ping pong. Mike Lee says, you forgot to say amen after hopium speech. I'm sorry. Mr. Sanders also says they need to stop passing and develop a run game that will open up the struggling pass game. If they do that, then we have a chance. We don't have a running game. Devin Singletary to me is a good second tier back. Eric Gray is a good guy to find me a hammer at Home Depot. We don't know what Tracy is yet. That you don't have a running game. It was said how many times on Hard Knocks, you let Saquon go, our best player, the guy with all the ability, the face of our franchise, the motor of the offense. What's our identity? Shane and them didn't have an answer. If Jason Garrett realized he was dealing with a broken quarterback, not saying he's a great quarterback, but makes you wonder if Jason Garrett had a chance to develop Jones on his own. Here's the problem with Jason Garrett. Here's the problem with Kafka. Here's the problem with Brian Dable. They all run the same offense. They were supposed to, we added motion. We got motion up the wazoo because one of the things that we needed was motion. We need to fool people. We need to trick people. We need to run some motion so Daniel Jones can find that open man. That's what we needed. Fucking Jason Garrett, man. Didn't have any motion in his offense. He just kind of sat there. Okay. That's a lot of motion for a 3-yard out. It's the same. You take away the motion, the Jason Garrett, Kafka, Dable offense is the same. And there's one constant from all these offenses. It's the quarterback. And they do this with this quarterback. They limit him and they limit his mistakes because of the fact that he does not play well. They know what they have. They have a below average quarterback who has moments. They have a below average quarterback who can't read defenses. They have a below average quarterback that doesn't check out of plays. They have a below average quarterback who has zero pocket presence. They have a below average quarterback who now defenses are just like, listen, throw. We dare you to throw. We're not going to give you Daniela Jones. We're not giving you the running lanes anymore. We need you throw. You saw it last week on a young defense with fresh starters, or not even a young defense. Their front sevens was a lot younger than their back four, but they basically said to Daniel Jones, "We're not going to let you run. We're going to keep you in the pocket, and we're going to make you pass. We're going to do something that quarterbacks are supposed to do: throw the ball." But Jason Garrett, Brian Dable, and Mike Kafka all understand their their deficiencies with Daniel Jones. They all get it. That's why these offenses, and people are like, well, you know, the offense is just too simple. Yes, because that's what their quarterback is. Their quarterback is simple. And you are now in year 6 of a simple quarterback who still has the inability to read defenses. You had a guy, like I said, that threw for 3,000 yards. You had a guy that just is not an NFL quarterback. And you're trying to convince yourself and the fan base, and I think a lot of it has to do with the general manager, that's what you have when you don't. And I just wonder at times when it's going to stop. Because you think every year it's going to stop. Daniel Jones's big season, ready? 188, 176, 195, 71, 217, 73, 200, 176, 97. And it wasn't until week 10 that he cracked 340 yards. 228, 200, 169, 160 was 334 and 117. That was the big season. He threw for under 200 yards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. He threw for under 200 yards in 10 games. Those are stats of a rookie. Those aren't stats of a guy that's been in the league for 4 years. So if he cannot figure out a way to exploit a secondary in Washington, which is not very good and is young and is hurt, with the number 6 overall pick in Malik Neighbors, who we had to have because anyone that works in the NFL will tell you drafting a wide receiver to fix your quarterback always works. You fly against total conventional wisdom by drafting a guy at 6 to fix a guy going into his 6th year because you need to get him a weapon. Evan Ingram, Golden Tate, Kenny G, Darren Waller, Wan'Dale Robinson, Kadarius Toney, Paris Campbell. Now Malik Neighbors. We've tried this. Greg says, we will lose. We always have problems with mobile quarterbacks. My biggest concern about Jaden Daniels, I'm going to say this again. I said this on the video on Friday. Biggest concern. He didn't have any interceptions against Tampa, and Tampa is a very good team. He had 188 yards and 2 touchdowns on a good Tampa defense. If I'm Washington, you have 2 good running backs in Eckler and what's his name? Brian Johnson. I can't remember Brian, whatever. I can't remember his name. You have 2 good running backs in Washington. You made Aaron Jones look like he was back in Green Bay 4 years ago. And you have Brian Robinson Jr. and Austin Eckler. I'm going to say it again. I am running off tackle, and I am running directly at Kayvon Thibodeau and Brian Burns all day long. Same thing that they did in Minnesota, against Minnesota. I'm running at those 2 all day long. I have no fear of these ends because I know behind them is nothing. You got Bobby Okereke in the middle of the field. Then you got everyone else. So I'm still not sold on McFadden. I've been saying this about McFadden. He reminds me way too much of Tay Crowder. And I'm just sitting there telling you, you get past those guys, you have them creep, you have them get over aggressive because they're trying to get to the quarterback. You run a draw, you run it off tackle, you're going to get big chunks of yards. And then you have a mobile quarterback who's got some serious wheels and an arm. He may be a rookie. And I've said this before, you lull those safeties in. You keep running the ball. You lull those safeties in. And the minute, if Dan Quinn and the coaching staff have worked with Jaden Daniels, the minute as a quarterback you diagnose the safeties are creeping in, you see them coming forward, you take a deep shot to McLaurin. And then once you do that and you get Burns and Thibodeau to be a little bit over aggressive, you just wait till the rush, you take off. That's what I'm worried that they're going to do. Because Jaden Daniels has wheels. Jaden Daniels has acceleration. Like I said, like I've said it a million times, Daniel Jones is the 76 Buick I had. It was fast when you got it going downhill, but you had to get it going downhill. Jaden can motor. Fuck, Brian Dable wanted him. You attack the ends with the running game. And also you have 2 guys, I believe last year had 118 last week in Brian Robinson Jr. and Austin Eckler, who had over 100 yards receiving between the 2 of them. You park a running back in the middle of the field. Bobby Okereke can't be everywhere. Zach Ertz at 497 years old, I'm worried he's going to have a big game. You shouldn't even worry that Zach Ertz has anything of a game, but you got to worry about that because your safeties are Newbin, Belton, and Pinnock. That's spawn insane and pray for rain. And that's being nice because neither one of those 2 are spawn insane. Baseball reference, I know. I was watching the Mets last night. That's what you do. You attack the safeties. And those safeties are going to be inexperienced enough. And you can pick on Dane Belton all day long. You let them come in. And the moment you are a quarterback reading that defense, you watch the 2 safeties. And what's been going on in the NFL the last week, and it might change, is a lot of teams have been playing their 2 safeties deep to try to keep the plays in front of them. I noticed that last week. It was kind of weird. But you watch those 2 safeties. Now, Shane Bowen is not known to blitz because he likes to rush 4 and maybe blitz 25% of the time. But as soon as they fall for the running game and you see the safeties, instead of taking a step or 2 back, you see them taking a step or 2 in, that you check out of the play and go deep. And like I said, and as soon as you see Kayvon and Burns getting over aggressive and over pursuing, as soon as they over pursue, you take off in the middle of the field. You stay, well, not really in the middle of the field, but you go off to the side. You go away from Dexter Lawrence. That's what I'm scared that Washington's going to do. I'm scared we are going to get killed by a rookie quarterback in his second game because of the fact that he can motor. And we just don't have the speed and we just don't have the guys. I love Adoree Jackson, 54 receptions, 750 plus yards plus 4 touchdowns last year, and that was his big year. Sat in the open market and free agency for months because nobody wanted him. Takes basically a veteran minimum to come back to the Giants when he said he wanted to go to a playoff team or a contender. Tells me playoff teams and contenders didn't want you. But you're a perfect fit for the Giants. David says you will, let's see. Well, you can't count Carolina because they aren't a real team. That's true. That not. Dable has given Daniel Jones 3 to 5 games before he benches him for good. If he pulls the plug too soon and they start winning, management said he didn't have enough time to gel with teammates. Dable has never been quick to pull the plug on Daniel Jones. There were games last year that he should have pulled the plug on Daniel Jones. Should have pulled the plug game 1. There were games, even in the 9-7-1 season, that they should have pulled the plug on Daniel Jones, but they didn't. I mean, hell, how do you not pull a plug on your quarterback and a win in Chicago? And I know he got injured, but he was playing. He wasn't playing well before he even got hurt, and he was only sacked once. I love it when people keep talking about Daniel Jones is sacked. His big season, he was sacked 44 times. And he missed 1.5 games. It's sad that as comes to, well, the Giants can beat Washington. That's how sad that we have become. Our only hope is beating Washington. That really is our only hope right now. This was a game to determine if we were going to win number 1st and number 2nd overall pick. DJ would win it, and we'd end up with the 7th pick. That's what I'm scared of. The Giants can beat the Commanders today, even with the record 1-0. I think they can beat the Commanders. I'm predicting they're going to beat the Commanders. Maybe it's because I'm really tired. But I'm predicting they're going to beat the Commanders. I got Malik Willis going on too. I got Malik Willis on starting for Green Bay against the Colts at home at Lambeau Field. I'm excited. This is put up or shut up for Malik. If he can't do it on a good Green Bay team with a good offensive line, with good wide receivers, with a good running game, with a good defense, then he's never going to get it done. This is his shot. After all the purgatory he went through in Tennessee, this is the shot. Greeny Green says Jones wasn't ruined. He wasn't good at Duke. You're right. JM, I've been saying this for years. Giants won't win anything with Daniel Jones behind center. Greeny Green says the invisible pass rushers. They're the ghosts. I give all the credit in the world for James Williams. And make sure you've got 119 people in the chat. Make sure you hit the like button, all that fun stuff. We've got another 100 and something on the Twitter sphere. Make sure, I give all the credit in the world to James Williams because James Williams is the one that basically coined the phrase, gave on the friendly pass rusher because he's Casper. He said this a year ago. And that's why we created the Kayvon the friendly pass rusher sound effect. Because Kayvon, and then I love Kayvon because then he gets upset with the media and the fans when they ask questions. They ask him questions about his, and he's like, "Well, say what else got a question?" Again, Kayvon's great when they're winning. He's kind of an asshole when they're not.
Hey kids, look over there. Who is it? It's Kayvon, the friendly pass rusher. Oh no, now he's gone.
Zach and Tech says, I was rewatching 2018 lowlights of the Giants defense, and the Giants defense saves are so far back on the secondary. I'm worried. I'm worried about that too. OG Knockout said, Tim, whenever there's pressure on Daniel Jones to win the game, he fails every time. You can't win week 1 with Giants legends. He can't win today. His home record sucks. It talks about that. Yeah, his record sucks entirely. But for one game, I am giving Daniel Jones one game here. 17 for 30, 214, 2 touchdowns, the Giants win. That's what I'm hoping. 28-17, Giants win. That's what I'm hoping. And I've said this like I said week 1. I said week 1 the Giants should win 21-17, but in the same breath I said, but I could see them losing 35-10. That there would be no in between. It would either be a Giant win or a giant blowout. And I kind of feel the same way now. This is what scares me about this team already. I can't definitively say I can see this team winning. I can see the Giants winning 28-17. I can see them being blown out 42-10. Again, no in between. It'll either be one end of the spectrum or the other. There's going to be no gray area. It's either going to be it's either going to be not a dominant giant win, but a win, or they're going to get exploited and they're going to lose by 20. I have my Kayvon Thibodeau jersey. Maybe they'll get 2 sacks just because. I'm going to look for you on TV. Pimp Dave says, will Burns and Tibbs get any pressures today? They better. I like it. I still like this. March for Arch. I am down with that. If you've ordered the Supreme Pizza, it came just plain, you have been Daniel Jones. Hey, Greeny Green says, we're planning for the Archie Manning. Plan for Arch Manning. I like planning for I also like planning for Manning. I'm either going Arch for March or planning for Manning. March for Arch or planning for Manning. Because we need to plan. We got another year, though. Another 2 years for Manning. Let's see here. Nabra, I have no confidence in this game. Well, come on, let's have a little confidence. Greeny Green says, picking every team the Giants played in my suicide pool. Daniel Jones has a chance to gift them a win, too. That's another thing. They on that interception, some people are like, well, you know, that wasn't really a bad play. Daniel Jones's part, that was just, you know, that was just, and you know, he didn't even look up, he didn't even see the guy. He literally didn't even see him. You're only looking at him. Look at that over there. Know who that is? That's Amon Bradshaw. You know who's over there? That's Lawrence Taylor. That's Leonard Marshall. Look, I'm looking forward and I can see guys. Also selected picking up every defense the Giants play in fantasy football. It's a good idea, actually. RF says Dable actually threw DJ under the bus last week. He should have pulled him. After that interception, you should have pulled him for Drew Lock. The game wasn't that far out of hand. You should have pulled him. As Dable as the head coach, you should hit the like, first of all. But as Dable as the head coach, you should have pulled his ass because you need to win. Because I want to break the news to you, Brian. The first one to go is going to be you. Because we've already done the standard modus operandi with the Giants. We fired a position coach. We fired a coordinator. Now the next thing we usually do at this point in time, going back to Shermer, actually going back to Coughlin too. Then we fire the head coach. Then we fire the general manager. So you are number 3 right now, Dable. You need to win games. Yeah, I guess training camp is worthless. That can't be right. Training camp evidently is worthless. I expect a shit show today. This typically is between us and Washington the past few years. It's been a shit show. It's been a shit show for years, this team. And you're right. These games. Here's the thing that I really hate about these games. And I go back to that overtime tie 2 years ago. And a lot of these other games. These games are just bad. They're not even fun to watch. I really enjoyed the Green Bay Eagle game, and I really enjoyed the other game, the other first game of the season. I really enjoyed those games. I really enjoyed just watching. I really enjoyed just watching actual football. These games are usually not great to watch. What's your thoughts on Minnesota wide receiver Luther Barton III? Actually, I have no thoughts on, and I'm not trying to be mean, Stanley. I got no thoughts on anyone in college yet. It's been 3 weeks. Some teams have played 3 games. Some play 4. I got to get a little bit. We got to get a little bit more into the season before I can really start thinking of things here. Mr. Bruce says, I'm so hurt. Our New York Midgets sucked. My fantasy team is in week 2. The shot that McCaffrey's going to go on the IR. I think McCaffrey's already on the IR, isn't there? And Love's getting injured. Neighbors suck because Daniel Jones sucks. Talk me off the ledge, Tim. Halloween's coming up. I like Halloween. I have for my front yard. I have to get another one, but because it came damaged, I have a 9-foot alien spaceship, and there's a 9-foot spaceship, and he's on the top. It is an alien. Then there's like this beam of light that comes down, and it's 9 feet tall, and it's really cool. And then I bought a cow that I'm going to put in the beam of light to look like he's being sucked up into the alien spaceship. And then I have like a 7-foot Bigfoot alien. I can't remember what the other one is. Sign that says "We believe in you." So Christmas, Halloween's coming up. What's up? Good morning, Tim. What's up, Stu? RDF says, let's see. RFD says Dable threw DJ under the bus last week. A reporter asked Dable why didn't they call for a deeper pass? He said we did, aka didn't look that way. Then I blame the head coach. What do we got here? Burns got paid so he doesn't have to work too hard. I don't think that there are certain players that you go to Dan Wilkerson. There are certain players that get their money and then they kind of disappear. I don't think Brian Burns is that kind of player. I really don't. I think he still plays. I still think he plays hard just because he got paid. I don't think he's, just because he got his big payday. I don't think he's slacking. I just think he's a guy that doesn't play the run well, has his moments, and like they said on the NFL Network, is an 8.5 sack guy. I think we as a fan base and we as a giant organization overvalue talent. And when they don't pan out to the high expectations we give them, we say, well, he's dogging it. No, it just kind of play. You talk to people that lived and watch Carolina. That's just a player he is. That's all that is. We got Zach Attack with the super chat. I just saw the super chat coming in from the Zach Attack. We'll make sure we grab that from Zach Attack. The Giants O-line ranks 12th in time to pass. The O-line wasn't the problem last week, and I kept saying this. The O-line was not the issue. Yeah, they gave up 5 sacks, but here's the problem with giving up the 5 sacks. It was the quarterback that ran into 3 of them. There were 2 sacks, because it goes to his wonderful pocket presence, that Daniel Jones stepped up into the pocket right into the rusher. And this whole crap with Carl Banks, this whole shit with there's nobody open downfield. There's nobody there. And I love it because, James and I were sitting there. We have the vantage point from the field where you really can't see it, but you go down the section there. We see the entire field. We see the entirety of the field, just like Carl Banks and Bob Papa does. And there were guys open. We just didn't look at them. Talk with Zoe. Love Cam. What's up, Talk? What's up, Lorenzo? What's going on, my brother? Love Cam Ward, but the level of competition he's going up against is lesser than subpar. I can't wait to see him against a really good defense. See, thank you. Thank you, Zoe. Thank you very much. And it's not like I'm not excited about certain quarterbacks. I'm not going to say who yet, but because it's been 3 weeks. Let's get into the meat of the season. Let's get into some guys getting up against good to your point, better competition, and then we can see what we got going on here. Then we could see. We got James Williams on his house, Mr. Belford. Hey, I can't wait for the next season. I'm so tired of watching this Daniel Jones horror show. I am so excited about the Knicks. I am so excited about the Knicks. I am so pumped about the Knicks. ECK Sports. I still like Pinnock and Newbin. Well, you're young. You're young. You'll get it. Neither one of them are great. Newbin still has a chance. Pinnock is just Pinnock is average at best. ECK says off tackle, right? Off tackle left. That's what they're going to do. T. Brad's in his house. What's up, T. Brad? What will we have from the guys who have been practicing sack dances? Yeah, that's true. Just talking to a Jet fan at the supermarket, and we both dropped to our knees in pain for being a New York fan. Don't worry, because you want to know why? Because the Knicks are coming. The Knicks are coming. I'm so excited. I don't really play like a lot of. I like playing football games on the PlayStation and stuff. I don't. But I've been playing. I usually play the older games. So I don't really play any of the new Maddens. I have been playing the like the college football one, the new one that came out 10 years after the one I love. I've been playing that one, but you know what I've been doing? I've been playing NBA 2K25 because I've been playing the Knicks and I love it. I'm having such a great time. Has anyone seen?
Hey kids, look over there. Who is it? It's Kayvon, the friendly pass rusher. Oh no, now he's gone.
James, I don't know if you were here earlier, but we gave you full credit for Kayvon, the friendly pass rusher, Casper, the pass rusher, because everyone's trying to steal your shit. And then my other favorite Kayvon song.
I gotta come up with something. The old line thinks I'm nothing. If I only had a sack.
What's Rick say here? Giants playing the toilet bowl in week 2. Sounds familiar. Shake my head. At least they usually win it. No, last time we tied it. Sublight says Jones is what he showed us in every single interview. Well, we have to get better. T-Brad's already starting the Joe Must Go. T-Brad also says, make sure you hit that like button. Trying to make sure I get to a lot of the comments today because it's been one of these days. It's just been a day and a half. Mr. Bruce Manuel says, if we lose today, get rid of the whole regime. I think that's the question that everyone should ask. If we lose today, if somehow I still think we're going to win. I still think we are going to win. But if we lose today, and like I said, here's the thing. I still think we're going to win, but I also then think we're going to drop 7 in a row. Here's the thing. If we lose today, it's going to be so bad. I mean, it's going to be bad. Also, Darius is out today. Zach. McLeod's out. Gunner's out. Darius is out. You got, let's see here. You had a full practice from McFadden on Friday. You had a full practice for Neighbors, and you had a full practice from Slayton. So it looks like Slayton is going to be a go. But where do you go? Where do you go? Where do you go, my lovely? What do you got, Omega Supreme? What does he say to James? You have to call him. Beetlejuice came on to that. I love that. I love this Omega Supreme. Like Beetlejuice, you need to call Kayvon Thibodeau 3 times. Thibodeau. All right, there we go. So now he's going to get a sack today. Oh, my goodness. That was actually really funny. Mr. Roberts says, this would be better for Jones' final game. The injury clause would screw up the Giants' cap space. The Giants are screwed either way. So it doesn't matter because even if he's injured, even if he's not here next year, you don't have a quarterback. Cortez Smith says, we all don't like Jones as a player, but as Shady McCoy to take a shot at his family is going too far. I agree. But I also think the fact that people are just kind of sick of Daniel Jones. Man, yeah, you should never take a shot at someone's family. I agree with that. Mr. Bruce says, who do I start this week? Fields or Matthew Stafford? I got to go Stafford. Joe says, let's see, Mike Lee says, Joe will still screw up drafting Manning if he goes there. You know what's problem? I was thinking about this. I was thinking about this because I literally could see it now. With the first overall pick, the New York Giants select Cooper Manning, Old Miss. They'll take the dad. They'll literally end up taking the dad. I have that fear they will take the dad. Let's see. All right, it says 3 years ago we said we would the DJ regime and we would be with us for 7 seasons and then we would wait for Manning to continue the Giants tradition. A lot close to happening. Oh my God, I forgot I said that. I love it when people remind me with shit that I said like 3 years ago. I really did. I actually did say that. I said that Manning would be here for 7 years and then we would draft Arch Manning. And I did say that like 3 years ago. RFFD, good memory, man. Good. I forgot all about it. I'm low key over the Manning connection. The Jones is the connection is what gave us Drayden drones. No, what gave us Daniel Jones was the stupidity of Dave Gettleman. Again, he was trying to be the smartest guy in the room. Odds Jones benched at the half if he played like last week. Oh, that's a great question. Dable just does not have this hook with Daniel Jones, and I don't get it. You are playing, or you are coaching for your proverbial NFL career. You would think you would do everything humanly possible to succeed and win, and not pulling the plug on Daniel Jones. Worst case scenario is, this is the worst case scenario. Just dawned on me. You pull Daniel Jones. One of the other two quarterbacks sucks. And then you can go back to the press conference and basically say, well, you know what? We are just not good at the quarterback position. Drew Lock wasn't the answer. Tommy DeVito was not the answer. We're going to have to stick with Daniel Jones. He gives us the best opportunity to win. Best case scenario, Drew Lock plays lights out. You win. And then you have a quarterback controversy. Cortez says, "What's up, Mr. Smith? Is Daniel really disclosing his injuries? If he feels he knew, it feels like he knows if he takes a blindside hit, he won't get back up." No, I don't think he's not disclosing injuries. I just don't think he's good. I mean, I think that's in simplest regards. I just think he's not a good player. And it's not a slight against Daniel Jones. There have been a lot of bad quarterbacks in this league. And there's been a lot of guys that just shouldn't play quarterback. You look at Mitchell Trubisky. The Bears figured it out. And the Bears basically just went a different direction. And you're allowed to do that. You are allowed to make that decision. You are allowed to change directions. You are allowed to change your mind if you want to. You're allowed. It's okay. I have to laugh. I was looking at Twitter, and I got a notification that someone's following me. They're like, "Someone's following you on Twitter." And I look and I say, it's John Cena. When I was like, you always have people have these fake accounts and they follow you and shit like that. And I was like, yeah, okay. And I see a little blue check mark. And then I go and click on it. I'm like, why the fuck is the real John Cena following us? Following Online Big Blue. I don't even like wrestling. I don't even follow wrestling. I'm just laughing at that because I just see it again. It just literally popped up again. That you're being followed by John Cena. I don't get that. They must think we're awesome. Unlike Daniel Jones, I don't even follow Daniel Jones. Does Daniel Jones even have a Twitter account? I was wondering that because I'm gonna look that up. Zach, look that up. Does Daniel Jones have a Twitter account? Because I need to follow him and tell him a couple things. I need to tell him a few things because I need to just figure this out. Let's see. Bleed Big Blue says, what do we got here? I've been saying this for years about Jones, but I can't blame him. I blame Shane and I blame Dave. I don't blame Daniel Jones. I blame the entire regime. I blame ownership. I don't blame Daniel Jones for sucking.
That's what she said.
Don't blame him at all. Because it's just not good. But if someone offered me $160 million not to be good, you think I'm going to say no? Zach Attack gave me a $1.99 super chat. And I know I'm not good. I know I'm not worth $1.99. That's when people are like, well, your OG memberships are only $1.99. I said, yeah, because I couldn't give them away for free. Oh, Green, what's up? Ready to rip the Band-Aid off. Trade Tibbs, Burns, eat the salary cap ramifications next year. No, you can't. It's way too. If you lose, it's still way too early to tear everything down. Even though Mr. Robert says if it's a bright spot, don't let Malik play through the injury. Jones is going to cause neighbors to get hurt like he got it. Saquon, okay, the ACL injury was a non-contact freak turf injury. The ankle injury in year 2 with Saquon Barkley was Daniel Jones's fault. It was. He threw a bad pass to Saquon that Saquon went and tried to get and hurt himself trying to help his rookie quarterback. The other injury a couple years back that kept him out for 2 games, again, was a bad pass from Daniel Jones that Saquon got hurt on. Waller almost got decapitated in a preseason game against Carolina. Jones has a propensity and a tendency to throw his wide receivers into contact. I remember 2 years ago when we had this, he's got such great ball placement. He's got such the ability to do these things. He's got all this ability. I remember this from a couple of years ago. I remember the ball placement. The ball placement is the best that we've seen him ever have. This was 2 years ago. You watch other quarterbacks. They throw to positions on the field. They throw to different spots because what they're trying to do is to limit the contact from your wide receiver to the defensive back or the linebacker or the safety. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to put their receiver in a position to catch the ball and not get killed. I love it because I was watching Field of Dreams yesterday. And the kid was batting. Archie was batting. And the pitchers threw 2 pitches at the kid's head. And Doc turns around, looks at the umpire, and says to him, "Hey, how about a warning?" To the pitcher. And the umpire looks at him and says, "Yeah, try not to get yourself killed." That was the warning. And that's the warning I have for any wide receiver or running back that plays or tight end that plays for the Giants. Try not to get yourself killed. Because your quarterback's going to throw you into fucking contact. So just be careful. And I worry about Malik Neighbors because there was the one pass in the middle of the field that Neighbors got that he basically had to leap for. He kind of had to jump up to get. There was no one around him. But if a safety creeped and Neighbors was in midair to get that ball, the safety had a clear shot right at his back. Not a cheap shot, not an unprotected wide receiver. He had a clean shot to demolish him. Mr. Fitness, salute to you as well. If I only had a sack. My bad. I was reading an NFL report. No worries, Zach Attack. That we gave the injury report that said that Darius played. I don't think Darius played well at all, and I was there. What did McCoy say about Jones's family? I don't want to get into that. You can Google it, David. I don't want to get into that. It's just, you know what? You just kind of reach a point where it's just like, people are going to say shit. People are going to say stupid shit just so. People say stupid shit just so they can get attention. 3/4 of the Giant YouTube community says stupid shit, so you watch their videos. They make shit up. They say stupid things because they know people are craving for positivity, or they're craving to win. So they say stupid shit and they overhype players just so you watch. And then when it doesn't come out to be true, it's like they never said it. Greg, what's up, Big Greg? We are the laughing stock. Could leave. I wouldn't even trust Shane to make the draft selection again. If Barkley balls out this year and goes for 1,200 yards deep into the playoffs, bye Shane. I honestly said this. I think with this offense, this line, their quarterback, their wide receivers, and their tight end, I think Saquon can put up 2,000 all-purpose yards. Easy. We just have a liquidation sale. Everything must go. 20% off. Let's see. RF says Tua actually reminds me of Jones this week. The problem is with Tua could actually play. He plays stupid at times, but he can actually play. Would you keep Jones for 2 years if it meant we get Arch? No. As a season ticket holder, as a lifelong Giant fan, I am so sick of Daniel Jones. We've talked about it on the stream, I think on Wednesday or whatever day I had a stream. We talked about it. I had more fun, more excitement, more pleasure going to watch Tommy DeVito play. When the OG QB went in, Tyrod Taylor, I was so excited. I had more pleasure watching those guys play and got excited to go to the stadium than I ever did when I sit there and have to watch Daniel Jones again in year 6. Does Jones finally get 3 passing touchdowns? I don't know. You know, it's funny. You have all these people associating Daniel Jones with Trevor Lawrence. And I laugh because I had a little fun with and in less games too. I had a little fun with James, and I asked him, I said, how many in his entire career, how many 300-yard passing games do you think Daniel Jones has? And he wasn't sure. And I told him, I said, I said he had 9. Daniel Jones has had 9 300-yard passing games. And then I asked him, how many 300-yard passing games do you think Trevor Lawrence has in his entire career? I'm going to tell people to look it up. Plus, how many 4,000-yard passing seasons has Trevor Lawrence already had? Michael East, the Senior Bowl gave us DJ as well. You're right. Mr. Roberts says, Jones leashed is the length of MetLife's field, apparently. What does Richie says? Texas quarterback Archie Manning to the Giants is your destiny. According to RFFD, I forgot. I said it 3 years ago. Jones will be here 7 years, and then we draft Archie Manning. Said that 3 years ago, before the kid even went to college. They have to get rid of the GM. Please don't let him run the draft. His talent assessment sucks. Shane's talent assessment is not what I would refer to as acceptable. So I think some ways we can leave it. Big Lou, New York Sports says, love the negativity is here before the game time. Just wanted to feel good about something before the game and turn this on. Hey, well, Big Lou, go fuck off. How about that? You want some negativity? Fuck you and the horse you rode in on. It's called honesty. Blackbird says, yes, Jones does have a Twitter account. He does have a Twitter account? Okay. The Jersey Banners up, Tommy. We need stop. Tommy, we need Dylan. We need Tommy. We need Tommy. Although winning at one point, the New York, at one point, Georgia quarterback, top mocks, the quarterback Carson Beck did not play well against Kentucky last night. I didn't see Kentucky even play Kentucky last night, honestly. Marcus says, can you imagine edge rusher Josh Allen with Dexter Lawrence? Oh my God. We're not even going to, I still have my Giants Josh Allen jersey from that draft. I was so convinced and so excited to think that we were going to draft Josh Allen. I was so pumped up beyond belief. And then when the Jets didn't take him, I was sitting there and I was just like, we can do that. We're going to get Josh Allen out of Kentucky. We are going to get him. Linebacker / edge rusher. He's been phenomenal. We're going to get him. Giants select Daniel Jones, and not even a second later,
the Giants select quarterback out of Duke, Daniel Jones. Next on the clock is the Jacksonville. Oh wait, the Jacksonville Jaguar pick is already in.
Tom Coughlin ran that shit up. Tom Coughlin didn't wait. He ran that shit up. ECK says only one of the sacks was allowed by the O-line according to Pro Football Focus. I actually give 2 of the sacks to the O-line. Jersey, what's up? What's up, Tim? We need Daniel Jones to continue to attend concerts by himself. You are 100, and I'm not picking on Daniel Jones, but you are $160 million quarterback. I forget what country singer. I don't know any country music. And you go to a concert and you're on stage and you're walking through a parking lot by yourself and people are yelling at you and you're basically like, you don't want to talk to these guys. You're the $160 million quarterback of the New York Football Giants, and you're going to a concert by yourself? You got no friends? Hell, even I got friends. I'm never alone. I go to a game, I'm never alone. Oh my god. But I mean that I did find that kind, and I'm not saying, sometimes maybe people like to do things by themselves. But you really never see you see once in a while you saw him out with the boys with Saquon and all that. Especially when Saquon was hurt, they would go out. But every time he goes to a concert, he's by himself. And then there's me.
There's nothing for you here. I have men at my back, and you stand alone and defy me. I'm not alone.
I always love that because we are a cult in some regards. We really are. But I always tell people I have my opinions. I say what I want to say, but I'm not alone. I'm never alone. Too bad all the ability was against all the clone team. Samuel says, good quarterbacks throw their receivers open. Jones is the only guy that throws his receivers not open. Good point. We've said this a million times. You throw your wide receivers open. You throw to a spot where they're the ones that only have the opportunity to get to the ball if you possibly can. You don't throw your wide receivers into contact. Daniel Jones puts the ball in these vicarious situations where the quarterback can get wrecked. Excuse me, a wide receiver or tight end or running back can get wrecked. Honestly, never understood where the DJ as an accurate quarterback came from. I don't understand that either. It's like the best deep ball passer. Remember when he was 7th in the league with the best deep ball passing? Then you looked. He was 7 of 13. And two of the only touchdowns, were broken plays to Darius Slayton. The next player on the list had 45 attempts to Daniel Jones of 17. I swear people just say anything. They do. It's fine though. And they do. What's up, Tim? Hey, Adrian. Haven't seen you in a while. What's up, Tim? Haven't seen a live show in a while, but I haven't heard anything from the Jones fans yet. Do you think they are starting to wake up? Oh, they probably are. We had some idiot just came in here and said, I came in here for some positivity and I came in and I got this shit. Well, I hope you enjoyed yourself. Not you, Adrian. The Eagles won't make it past the second round. But here's the thing. Here's the thing, Blackbird. And I'm going to talk honestly to you here. Here's the thing. People make fun of the Cowboys always going one and done in the playoffs. People make fun of the Eagles that they're not going to get out of the second round. But they make the playoffs every year. How many times have we made the playoffs since 2011? In 13 seasons, how many times have we made the playoffs? Twice. I've said this before. You can bust Jerry Jones's chops about all the stupidity and all the dumb things he does. But at the end of the day, all he wants to do is win games. And yes, they lose in the playoffs, but they get to the playoffs. I think we figured it out the other day, what they had, the Cowboys in the last 15 years or 10 years, I forget what it was, have like 6 or 7 division titles. Yeah, you get blown out in the first round, but at least you got to the first round. We get to the first round, beat one of the worst defenses in the playoffs that I've seen in 30 years, get wrecked by a good team, and then don't even sniff the playoffs the next year and start this season 0-1. You start 2-7-1. You are now 8-16-1. In some regards, you want to be an Eagle fan. In some regards, you want to be a Cowboy fan because, yes, while you get blown out in the playoffs, at least you made the playoffs. Playoffs? I used to have that sound effect. Jim Mora, man.
What's that? Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
I'm just happy Saquon deserves it. Oh my God, James says, with the C-Mac being out in San Francisco, Saquon will be the best back in football this year. I don't disagree. DeVito was more exciting than Jones last year. He was. So was Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor actually showed you were able and allowed to throw the ball deep. And there was this funny thing he did, Tyrod Taylor. And we haven't seen it in 5 years. It was weird. And I'm not sure a lot of NFL quarterbacks know about this, that you could do this. But he hit guys in stride. He hit guys running. They didn't have to slow down. They didn't have to speed up. They didn't have to stop. They didn't have to overextend. They were running, and they just went like this and caught the ball. And it kept running. What the fuck is that about? For 4.5 years, I haven't seen that. And then he does this? Jones needs to learn to slide. If he gets a significant injury, we are blanked. We will be on the hook for $40 million next year if we cut him and he gets in. You know what the funny thing is? We're already on the hook for 22, so it doesn't really matter. No way Jones is throwing for 3 touchdowns. Derrick Henry is better than Quan. No. Maybe a couple years ago, yeah. Not this version, the Baltimore version of Derrick Henry. No, he's like an older Marshawn Lynch right now. Getting Tim riled up is fun. It always is. If Jones is lucky, he throws for 1 touchdown, laughing my ass off. Most of those multi-touchdown games were against Washington. What's up, Kevin? Go Giants. Like I said, I think the Giants win this game. I don't know why people think I'm having all this negativity. I think the Giants win. I think the Giants win. We're going to say 23-17. There you go. I think the Giants win 23-17. Fan on. So why am I the one negative? Giants win 23-17. Okay, here we go. Put it in this chat so everyone can see it. So Mr. Negativity out there, stop telling me we're negative. What's up, TJ? Are the Giants the only team that doesn't run stunts on defense? No, we're not allowed. We do run stunts on defense. And this, and I'm not picking on you, TJ. This is like going back to the Jason Garrett offense. And I had to hear there's no motion in the offense. There's no motion in the offense. All these teams use motion. We need motion. I watched some of the Jason Garrett offense. They had motion. It's not the excessive motion that people want to see, but they had motion. The Giants defense runs stunts, but here's the problem. You have a coordinator who likes to rush 4, has a tendency to drop his ends into coverage, and neither one of them are athletic enough. And he blitzes maybe 25% of the time. This is a bad mix for when you have a young, inexperienced, not much talent in your secondary outside of Banks. Adoree Jackson to me should be slotted into a safety position. He shouldn't be the CB2. Cordell Flott shouldn't even be on an NFL roster. Isaiah Simmons couldn't even get on the field last week, and he was still listed on the depth chart as a 3rd nickel. You got Phillips, who's a rookie, you're going to rely on, and you got Newman, who's a rookie that you're going to rely on, with the likes of Pinnock, who I like, but Pinnock's to me is an average safety. He's not a McKinney. He's not a Love. Hell, he's not even a Peppers in his prime. And when you cannot generate a rush with 4 and you can't get to the quarterback, it's what I said I worried about last week. You're going to go, and which is what they did. They went off tackle, ran up the middle, went off tackle, waited till the safeties creep, got Jefferson behind the defense. And that's what I'm afraid is going to happen this week again. Dr. Garrett, what's up? Is there something we should be positive about? This is the kind of guy that accepts someone's peeing down his leg and thinks it's raining. Hey, I am tired of people stealing my lines. I got Dahmer at his job quoting OBB. My wife was on a conference call the other day. Stole one of my lines. I got to patent this shit. DJ is a weirdo. I'm telling you, NFL starting quarterbacks for 6 years, no kids or no wife. Well, he just may not be ready to settle down. I don't know anything about his personal life. I just think it's weird that I just think it's kind of strange that he goes to concerts by itself. Blackbird says, I got friends. That's the weird thing. I got friends. I mean, I can go places by myself. I've said this before. I can go places by myself. I already banned and deleted you, HR, whatever. I can go places by myself. I'm not one of these people that can't like go to a basketball game or do something on my own. My wife always laughs because she's always like, you know, how can you go do that? I can go out by yourself because I enjoy my own company. And sometimes I just enjoy sitting in the game. I like basketball. I could go to a basketball game by myself. I don't need anyone. I always go with people because it's just fun to go with other people. But I could literally go by myself, have a beer, hang out, have them bring me my nachos, watch the game, and then go home. So maybe he's like that. But the problem is I'll do that maybe once in like a year. And I'm not the $160 million starting quarterback of the New York Giants. Big super sticker for the Don. What's up, Big Don? Big Don, my brother. Syracuse man. Those Orangemans. Oh, that McCord or McCoy, whatever the hell that guy's name is. Thank you for the super chat, my friend. You are always welcome and always wonderful. Titans, Derrick Henry is better than Saquon. He ran for 1,000 yards. That's what I said. Titans. You said he's better. Derrick Henry is better than Saquon. Titans, Saquon Barkley. I mean, it's Titans, Darius Slayton's better than Saquon Barkley. Yes. Titans prime, not Ravens. Evan says we will ever be consistently good again, getting tired of the non-competitive games every week. Yeah, man, you know what? I keep saying you gotta hope. And I keep thinking, you know, every year when I renew my season tickets, I always think that, you know what, this has got to be the year. This has got to be the year that we do something. And then I look 6-11, 9-7, 4-13, 6-10, 4-12, 5-11, 3-13, 11-5, 6-6, 6-6, 7-9. So since 2013, the 7-9 2013 season, we've had 2 winning seasons and 2 playoff appearances since 2014. Excuse me, since 2013. I'm sorry. Since 2013. 2 playoff appearances and 2 winning seasons. I see a chance for trick play neighbors throwing the touchdown to Daniel Jones today. However, it will be canceled by Giants penalty 24-14. G-Men. We got Zach Attack at the 10-7 in the Redskins. Who do you want to sign Jones and lose Barkley? Whoever wanted to sign Jones and lose Barkley needs to be fired. Well, that was the general manager, because, you know, the general manager can't have a $40 million quarterback handing off to a $12 million running back. Well, they kind of did that in Philadelphia. And I think I keep hearing how wonderful the contract is from Jones and how now it's a bargain and all this stuff, and how it's just such a bargain, even though he's not playing up to his contract. And I keep looking at the Jalen Hurts contract, and the Jalen Hurts contract should be the pinnacle of NFL players' contracts. Jalen Hurts cap it this year is 13. Next year it's 21. Next year is 31. Next year is 41. He's only got a $20 million dead cap number in 2027. He's averaging $23 million a year in salary for 3 years. And his big number, they can still get out of the contract, and then they have the potential out after 2027. That contract is a stroke of Howie Rose, it's Howie genius. He's a genius. That contract is a genius contract. You have your quarterback and you're still paying him like 20-something million dollars a year on average over the next 3 years. You guys make me bet on DJ getting touchdowns. Let's hope he can even get to the end zone at least once before halftime. I hope so. David says, Tim, how the hell do the Giants score 23? Did you read what it says? And yes, I am on crack. Fan on. I'm parking at the game right now. Well, then, Blackbird, why come you not buzzing in? 3 touchdowns and a safety? Or it could be some field goals, you know. 3.5 Giants, -17. Giants win closest to 0. Let's see. Washington right now is a 2.5 point favorite. Giants 34 says, Sam, I think Dable is keeping DJ in the game to show Mara how bad DJ is, and DJ doesn't know he doesn't want a person to bail him out with a splashy play here and there. Here's the problem with that. You got to win. You are fighting for your coaching life. You're Dable. This is your coaching life. You have to do something and win. And if that's pulling Daniel Jones for Drew Lock, you pulled Eli Manning for Geno Smith. The Giant organization did. Disrupted his Iron Man streak. You tell me you can't pull Daniel Jones for Drew Lock after putting up a stinker? His thing is this. I can tell you what it is. Right now, the Giants don't want to be like, well, we don't want people to think we're panicking. You need to win. You have a tough 7 games coming up after this. You need to win because your next easy game isn't for a while. You need to win. You need to win now. Your next easy game isn't until the Commanders November 2nd, November 3rd. And then you got the Panthers in Carolina. But then you got the Bucks, the Cowboys, the Saints, the Ravens, the Falcons, the Colts, and the Eagles. You have the Browns, the Cowboys, the Seahawks, the Bengals, the Eagles, and the Steelers. Where do you see a win? You need to win now. If you're Dable, you need to win now. You need to do everything you possibly can do to make this team win. Made by Giants. Peppers love X-Men all flourishing elsewhere. Shaking my head. I swear this team. Dr. Garrett says, if anyone would know what this is it, would be me. Garrett's offense sucked for 3 reasons. DJ, no blocking, no creativity. Well, I say the blocking was bad at times because of the quarterback, and the creativity is because of the fact that the entire team knew that you couldn't rely on Daniel Jones. They say imitation is the highest form of flattering. That's true. I didn't think about that. Bowen's scheme doesn't fit. His scheme does not fit. Thank you, Blackbird. His scheme does not fit the Giants. You going out and getting 2 premier pass rushers on a guy that likes to rush 4 and doesn't blitz. And it has been known not to have quality secondaries because of the fact that the only good secondaries he ever had is when he was being mentored by Jim Schwartz. And then as soon as Schwartz left to Cleveland, the secondary went downhill again in Tennessee. It just doesn't fit the system. You waited a week, you get Steve Wilkes. This game can go either way. I said the same thing, Blackburn. I think the Giants there's going to be no in between here. The Giants either win at 23-17 or we lose 45-8. Hope isn't any hope when you miss. You're right. There's no hope. We've had 2 winning seasons in the last 9 years. We've been one of the worst teams since 2012. You're right. Giants with the Panthers in Munich. They're sending us our best team to Germany's audience. I keep saying this. Germany, Giants, Panthers. This is your payback for World War I and II. You do stupid shit, this is what you get. Do you see the scenario that we can keep Dable and get rid of Joe? And no, Dable's going to be going first. Did our assistant general manager Brandon Burns learn anything? I think Brandon, actually, if you listen to him, he seems astute. He seems like he gets it. And don't forget the like button. He seems like he gets it. I mean, can you go and I mean, it would be because of the fact that Shane brought in Brown. I don't know if you can go with Brown if you fire Shane. Would it make sense? Because it's like I wanted Ryan Poles because Ryan Poles came from Kansas City, and Kansas City had a winning culture and had a championship culture. And they rebuilt and retooled their teams at times, and he seemed like he understood the modern day philosophy. Joe Shane eats Crustables. Let's see. Anyone thought on the Coke Zero ads? Coke Zero soda trying to be the first time I'm pleasant surprised about it. No, I haven't tried Coke Zero. Tim, remember this, Tim. There isn't a $40 million running back that's going to hand off to a $13 million running back. That's not what's happening under Shane's watch. No, that's not happened under Shane's. I've said it before. That's what they're saying in Philadelphia. We can't do that. Hold my beer. James, I put the needle on the record. I put the whatever it is on the I put the link in the chat if you want to jump on. It's gonna end in a tie. Richie says, if the game ends in a tie, that will be the rock bottom. No, the rock bottom is that we lose. Difference is DJ's mentally is too fragile to handle being pulled during the game. You know what? Some people have said that, and I don't care. I don't care that my quarterback could have mental, he doesn't have the mental capacity to handle being pulled. He's a Gen Z or Gen Y or whatever it is. He can't handle the adversity. I don't give a shit. You gotta win. It's about winning. That's it. Poor Phil Simms lost a job to Scott Bruner. Got pulled at times for Jeff Rutledge. I know, all household names. And still asked for a trade after he got benched in 83. Parcells basically told him no. You watch some of the sideline interactions with Parcells and Simms on NFL Films. They're great. They're awesome. At one point in time, Parcells told Phil, shut the fuck up. I'm calling the plays. And somehow Phil still battled through all this. Won the Super Bowl in 86, was driving the team to a second one in 90 before he got hurt, and had pretty good Giant career. Pretty prolific. 33,000 yards, 199 touchdowns. I think he won 90-something plus games. Should be in the Hall of Fame. If the likes of Kenny Stabler in the Hall of Fame, he should be in the Hall of Fame. Same. He's got better stats than that of Troy Aikman, who's still in the Hall of Fame, who was on the Dynasty. But somehow he still survived. First I was afraid. I was petrified. But he still lived. Germany will give Russia and start World War III after watching the Munich games. These Americans must be stopped. Tim, are you talking about the Daniel Jones scoring 21 points for the Commanders with 3 pick sixes and forcing them to first of all? Yeah, that's probably what I'm talking about. What do we see here? First I was afraid. I was petrified. What is Dom saying here? Dom sent me a video. So I did this. Someone someone take today for someone else could have gone worse. I don't know what the fuck Dom's talking about. I don't know what Dom is talking about. Sometimes I don't know. I know I shouldn't be on my phone while I'm streaming. Yeah, listen to that. Oh my goodness gracious. I got too much going on in life. I have I got an announcement maybe coming up in a couple days. I have to figure some stuff out, but it'll be interesting as well. Where's Dom? I gotta see what Dom is sending me. Let's see here. Let's see if it comes on here. Come on over. There we go. First I was afraid. I was petrified, thinking that I can never live without you by my side. Brandon Brown's going to a professionalism to the room that Shane and Dable are missing. He is. He kind of was. Bruce said the Giants don't cultivate talent coaching anymore. We bring in random. It's cut and paste team. I've said this before. The Giants are a cut and paste team. And you're right. You have the likes of talent. I've talked about the fact like with Julian Love. Julian Love misread the market. Giants offered him more money. He goes out in free agency, gets a 2-year, $12 million deal from Seattle. He comes back hat in hand with the Giants, said, here's $2 million, $6 million. 2-year deal, $12 million, $6 million. I want to come home. Match this. I'll come back. No. We have Pinnock, Belton, and we just signed Darius Slayton. So no, we can't bring you back. Joe Shane's ability to misread talent is beyond reproach. He's getting $100 million. Who cares about his feelings? James, where is that? Nothing more than feelings. Where are you at?
Got dragged out grocery shopping.
You got dragged out grocery shopping. James Williams at the Halloween store wearing his giant gear.
Yeah.
He doesn't even, James doesn't know where he's at.
Nah,
James, what's your score?
24-24 tie. 24-24 tie.
Is it at least a close game, 24-24, or is it a seesaw back and forward game?
We're going to be winning, and then Jaden Daniels is going to lead them on a touchdown drive in overtime to tie it. And after a Daniel Jones fumble, that's my prediction.
But you are brave. You're wearing your Giants gear. You're out and about.
You know, it's funny. There's not a lot of people wearing Giant stuff or even Jet stuff today. I'm out with my other half, and she just ran into IHOP to pick us up some food. I was just in the smallest supermarket ever. I'm talking about the aisles. I'm sorry, chat. What up, chat? I was in you couldn't even walk down the same. You couldn't even walk down the aisles. Like it was like a one aisle supermarket. It was a one aisle supermarket.
Well, we refer to that as a bodega.
I wish bodegas were bigger than that. Bodegas were bigger than that. It's ridiculous.
Bodegas are bigger than that.
Somebody dragged me out on Sunday.
On Super Bowl on Giant Sunday, you got Malik Willis starting in Green Bay. You got Daniel Jones against Jaden Daniels, and you get dragged out for IHOP.
And we got Justin Fields against Bo Nix. Two guys we could have had.
Justin Fields versus Bo Nix. You got everything. You got everything going on.
Yeah, man.
You look happy, man. You look happy.
Well, you know, the sun is shining. It's my birthday week. Whoop, whoop.
What? I have a question for you, and it's a personal question. Since you got dragged out, what color is your sundress?
Shut up. Her dress is
what color is your sundress, James Williams?
No, she has a pink and lavender violet for I don't know what this is. It's a house. She has a house dress. Excuse me. We're out of the house in the house dress in the street.
Anyone that's especially dated someone Hispanic, you know what a house dress is. James looks upset.
Nah, man. I predicted, like Blackbird said, that we were gonna go 2-0. You know that. I said that at the game. Like we were gonna start the year 2-0. And I'll be honest, I have been wrong about every single thing I've said this year. When we were at the game, I said, I think the Cardinals are gonna catch my boy White Vic sleeping. Because
I thought they almost did.
Then they almost did, right? Then going down to Miami, I was like, well, Miami playing Buffalo and Miami, this is your best chance to beat them. And they sounded like they knew they had to win. I was like, I don't know, I'm kind of scared. And then Buffalo blew them out. I thought we were going to beat Minnesota. Nope, that didn't look good. I actually thought the Jets would put up a better performance in San Fran. I don't know why. But I have been wrong about everything. So
you weren't 100% wrong about the Cardinal game. Kyler Murray missed a wide open Marvin Harrison Jr. at the end of that game.
Oh, did he? Because all I hear from Giants people.
Wide open's not even fun. He was so open that even Daniel Jones might have been able to get him the ball.
No, all right. Because all I hear from Giants the universe is Malik Neighbors is better than Marvin Harrison, and Marvin Harrison is a bust.
He was so wide open, and I know we make fun of we make fun of James because he's out and about and he got dragged out, but we really shouldn't.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll pick you up a sundress and a parasol, and you can just sashay your pretty little self around the town square.
Dragged out into the street because if I stayed home, this is a lesson for men out there. Let me give you a lesson to you young bucks out there.
Don't listen to him.
Let me give you a lesson to you young bucks out there. When the woman says, no, it's okay.
You don't have to go.
You don't have to go. And she knows that you're just going to be sitting there getting ready for football or whatever man thing you want to do. Just go. Just get it over with. pull it and just go and come back.
Anyone that's married to anyone of any ethnicity, as soon as someone says you don't have to go, just automatically do this.
Yep, just get this. That's what I did.
Just start putting those on, because you don't have to go. I'll go by myself means you're going to be in a lot of trouble when I get home because you didn't want to spend time with me.
She's going to make you, when she comes back, she's going to go, well, you know what? I need you to do A, B, C, D, and E.
You have 12 minutes.
Now, like the game's about to start. Well, I mean, I've been out all day getting stuff for you.
I am just happy. I got Big Don over here smiling because I'm just happy she hasn't pushed you out of the car yet.
No, we stopped. I have to actually get ready to jump off. Oh, Big Don, you here? What up, Big Don?
You already know how the game goes. I'm with the wives. So it's wine wives, a little WW. You know how the game go.
He's stocking those shelves for Giant fans in Dallas.
Bruh, the atmosphere here for the Cowboys and New Orleans game. Ooh, everybody's getting off their high from Manning going into the game yesterday when Texas played. So
James is like, I don't want to talk about that kid.
Hey, I don't understand what's going on. You got everybody's divided on this kid. You have half of the fan base that wants yours. You have other half of the fan base like, no, we need the other Manning. And I'm just sitting here like, can we just like get our ducks in a row before we even do anything at this point? Because we're so combobulated doing everything and not having money. Oh, how are you gonna look forward to something like that?
You know, it's funny. We were just talking about Marvin Harrison. I did see this quote. Kyler Murray did say it was not his job to get Harrison the ball.
I've seen that too.
Oh, he said that?
He actually said that it's not the quarterback's job to get Marvin Harrison the ball.
Oh, well, maybe, you know what? That's why we didn't target Malik Neighbors until the third series or whatever it was. I guess Daniel Jones read that same quote.
I just laughed that I have somebody walking in New York and I have someone walking in Texas.
What can we say, man? You're a continental guy.
We just got it all here, man. Well, James, I'm gonna let you finish enjoying the day because you gotta
get out of here, man.
You gotta get back to. I appreciate you jumping on. I'm gonna talk to Big Don. You know I'll call you later.
Yeah, man. Y'all have a good one, Big Don.
You too, man.
All right. See y'all, man. Love y'all. Peace.
All right, James. So Big Don, what's your score?
14. No, 2021.
2021 who?
JD. I gotta go with JD. I gotta go with Washington. I hate to do it, but something's just itching. I've been itching with this whole pass rush thing, and I'm just sitting here like I remember.
You can get a shot. It's called penicillin. You can get a shot.
What? That's true. That's true. I remember we were talking about this last year that a certain pass rusher we have kept going around and wide and kept getting back into that habit. And I'm just sitting here like Jaden Daniels will kill you going deep if he needs to, but I'm pretty sure he has a green light to run also. And
if our rush goes wide, it's gonna leave the edges wide open. While I got Big Don on here, make sure you put in your score predictions right now. The person that guesses the score right, and you have to have the score and the team, you will win the 2011 replica Eli Manning Super Bowl ring. So make sure you go out, you win the ring, put your score into the chat right now. You have to have the team, and you have to have the team that's going to win. You can't just give me 21-17. You gotta have it all. So put your scores in now. Win the Eli Manning replica Super Bowl ring if you get your scores in. And we're hopefully last year it took us almost 16 weeks to give the ring away. And
goodness, I remember that.
This is actually out of my New York Giants season ticket holder box. because they gave you the 4 replica rings. So you put the score in, you put the team in, win yourself a ring. You can have as many guesses as you like. Make sure you just do that, and then we announce the winner if we had one on Monday's video or Monday's stream. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Don, what's your big thought here? Give me a thought here. Give me something that's gonna make me happy. We got 120 people in the chat, in the on the Twitter, not on Twitter, on the YouTube, and some other 50 something on the Facebook, or not Facebook, Twitter. So give us something good. Give the 100, almost 200 people that are watching you right now
something good,
and they're gonna watch you on the replay. Tell me something good.
I got one. It's a good DJ take. You're gonna love this.
All right.
Daniel Jones is gonna find his running back at least 3 times to throw the ball to. He's magically learning how to throw to the running back now, and it's blowing my mind completely. Couldn't do that for the past 3 years, but somehow, some way, just last game he found his running back 4 times out the backfield. So yeah, there's the good news. He learned how to throw to his running back, Tim. Like that's good news.
He learned how to throw to his running back.
I only took 6 years. Only took 6 years, but
I love it, man. And I love when Big Don comes on. But Don, I'm gonna have to let you go because I'm gonna run through these scores because I do have to get out of here. But I appreciate you stopping in as always. Be careful with that wine. And remember,
I'm gonna text you later. You're gonna laugh at what I send you.
All right, well, make sure you text me later. I'll be around. I'm not going anywhere.
All right, y'all take it easy. Peace, chat.
Thank you. All right, we got the scores coming in already. We got Battle Cat Conan Giants 16-14. You Are Bad says 17-14. Evans got 24-10 Commanders. Deadskins 24. Giants 9. Daniel's coming out party from Mike Lee. Omega's got it 18-13 Giants. J-Ham 24-17 Washington. Joe Rev is still 13 Giants. Come on, dudes, 24. What do we got? JoJo here is 23-20 Giants. Viewmaster's got 23-13 Washington. Let's see. Giants 34's got Commanders taking this one 24-9. Oh my God, we got so many people coming here. We got 26. What do we got here? We got 26. 26. We got 2016. We got 17-13 G-Men. We got 13-12 G-Men honoring Georgia versus Kentucky. We got 66-17 Commanders. We got 2016. Again, for the Giants, we got JoJo also dropping in 24-21. Let's see. We also have 28-13 Commanders. Let's see. We have 2017. We have 17-17 tie here. We got 23-16 G-Men. We got 13-13 made by Giants as he threw to his running back all game. You're right. You're right about that. We got 50-3 Giants. Omega. We got 0-6 Washington. Mr. Belford's coming in final score. Commanders 21-17. We got 23-12 Giants. We see, what do we got here? James also says, I see the Giants losing the game because Jones can't get the job done. 28-14 Washington. We got 23-16 Washington. We got 23-13 Washington. Mr. Sanders already put his in 17-13. Hey, Moet, what's going on? We got 6-6 tie. Early Panthers giant prediction. Giants 3, Panthers 2. It's an RBI double in the second that's going to propel the Giants. And we also have 13-10 Giants. We got made by Giants 6-6 tie. Oh my God. Don't forget, get your score in. Get the score right. If we have multiple winners, then multiple people win the rings. You get the replica Super Bowl ring, Eli Manning, out of my box from the season ticket holders from the Giants. So you're gonna get the ring if you put the score in properly. It's a good size ring. A lot of people, you can wear it. So we gave them away last year. For 2 seasons, we've been giving away the ring. 2 years ago, no one got the score right on any of the games. Last year, one person at the end of the season actually got it right. And I have to go back and look at who it was because they donated their ring to someone else in the chat because they had already won a ring, which I thought was awesome. I can't remember who it was, but they literally donated their ring to someone else in the chat. So I think that was great. Final thoughts on this game. I got to sit up for this one. Final thoughts on this game. I keep saying it over and over again. The Giants can win this game. The Giants can win this game. I'm not going to say the Giants can win this game easily, but the Giants can win this game. This is a winnable game for the Giants. All they need to do is have this understanding that they have to have the ability to keep the rookie quarterback in the pocket. That's what they have to do. They have to limit the off-tackle stuff, runs. They have to limit them going wide with Brian Robinson Jr. and Austin Eckler. They have to actually maintain their assignments, hold their edge, and limit the running game. And if they do that, they need to then control where Jaden is. Jaden's got wheels, but he's like Daniel Jones. You keep him in the pocket, he's not going to be as effective if the pocket is moving, if there is a floating pocket. So you use your edges to contain. You may not even and the thing is, to me, you may not even have to get to the quarterback, but you just maintain your assignments and you maintain the edge and you keep him in the pocket. You make him throw, you make him look downfield. If you can do that on offense and you can limit his running ability like Tampa couldn't, 88 yards and 2 touchdowns, you got a good shot of winning this game on defense. On offense, you're going to need to play ball control the clock, attack the weak secondary of Washington, use the speed you have in Neighbors and Slayton, try to get that play deep, and hope to God your quarterback has the ability to find the wide receivers downfield. Now, if you're Washington, in some regards, it's an easier task going up against the Giants, because I've said it before. What I'm doing is I'm running off tackle left, off tackle right. I'm attacking the ends, and I'm staying away from the middle of the field. I am using what I always like to refer to as a floating pocket, and I am just moving Jaden from side to side. And I'm kind of doing what Shermer did Daniel Jones's first year. Shermer rolled the pocket a lot for Daniel Jones that first year. And the reason why he was doing that is he was cutting the field in half. And so basically he only gave Daniel Jones half the field to look at, and he gave him 2 options and told him to throw to a spot. That's how Daniel Jones was successful, underneath Shermer. But the problem is that only works for a period of time before the league catches on real quick. But on week 2, if you're Dan Quinn, I'm rolling that pocket, I'm floating Jaden to the outside, and I'm telling him, listen, if the defense is, if the safeties are playing deep, and we've talked about this before, if the safeties aren't stepping in, they're stepping back, and you see this, and you should be able to see this as a young quarterback, take off. Don't even worry about throwing. Take off. Because more than likely the rush is going to over pursue, and that's going to leave a big gap between the defensive line and the safeties. Just take off and head for the sideline. Slide, do whatever you want to do, but head for that freaking slide. Hit right for that freaking sideline, just get out of bounds. You can get 10, 15 yards a pop. And then once you see the safeties creep, go deep to McLaurin. That's what I'm doing if I'm Washington. So I think Washington's got times going to have an easier task. I think the defensive level, if we talked about this on Friday, if you go unit to unit, I think we'll start on defense. I think the defensive line goes to the Giants. I think the linebacking core goes to Washington. I think both secondaries are crap, so they're tied. If you sit there and you go offensive line, I think they're both the same. I'm going to give the quarterback to Washington. I'm giving the running backs to Washington. I'm giving the wide receivers to the Giants. I'm giving the tight end position as well to Washington, even with Zach Ertz, who's 4,978 years old. I think this is going to be an ugly game to watch. The last 3 years, we have had so many bad, ugly games. It's been terrible. It's been beyond atrocious. We've had so many bad games to watch, and they're not even fun games to watch. I think it's going to be a bad game to watch, and I'm going to have Green Bay on the other side of the screen because they have the NFL package. So I'm going to have both games up, and I'll have Green Bay on the other side so I can watch Malik. But I think this is a game the Giants can win. But like I said, I don't think there's going to be any in between. The Giants either win this one 23-17 or they're going to lose it 45-8. I don't think there's going to be any in between on this game whatsoever. Because I just think this is the way this team is. Is this going to be any type of barometer of what this Giants season is going to be if they win? No. Because it's Washington. If you would have won against Minnesota, I would have said, okay, that's a little bit better of an idea. I'm tired of hearing we need 4 to 6 weeks to know what kind of team we have. I thought that's what preseason was for. I thought that was training camp. I thought that's what all those weeks were for. I thought that's what OTAs were for. I thought those were what mandatory mini camps were for. But if we get wrecked, where's T-Brad? I saw T-Brad in the chat. Why didn't he come on? Mad at you now, T-Brad. If we get wrecked this game, then the season could. If we get wrecked at Washington, I could see this being an 0-17 season. Maybe 1-16, maybe 2-14. If we get wrecked from Washington. And I think that's what we got to look. Mr. McCormick. I was going to say, I haven't seen you in a while, Mr. McCormick. What's going on? Joe Rev says, I have faith in DJ. He'll have one of his best games in a couple years. He'll throw for 144, 2 interceptions, a fumble, a touchdown, and he'll run for 63 yards. And people think, yeah, you're right. People will be like, it's the greatest game ever. Roy says, peace. Chad from Indian Land, South Carolina. Go Giants. Scott says, agreed, Tim. But I think that's it. I mean, that's going to be how this game is won or lost. And I think the Giants win. I think the Giants can win. Said it before, you're going to have the YouTube community and the Twitter community go crazy on Monday because Daniel Jones throws for 300 yards and throws for 2 touchdowns and an interception. Yeah, they go crazy. And then we come back down to earth on Cleveland and then the next 6 games. And I think that's kind of where this season's going to be. It's going to be so many ups and downs. You want to say this game is a good test for the Giants. You want to say that. But how can you really say that a rebuilding Washington team is a good test? It should, if you are a good team, if you are a playoff team, if you have playoff aspirations, you should have beat Minnesota and you should beat Washington handily. I know any given Sunday, you could say that about Minnesota. We just, and I love when some people are like, we weren't ready. We weren't ready to play. How can you not be ready to play week 1? Home opener. 100th anniversary. You have the 100 greatest Giants or family from the 100 greatest Giants in the stadium. Big ceremony at halftime. And you throw up a stinker. T-Brad, you should have came on. I put the link in the chat. I assumed you were coming on. Can't come on now because I'm leaving in 2 minutes. Not happy with you. See his face? Not happy. But if we don't win, I see us dropping at least 7. And then I see a long November, December. Except for the Knicks. But for one game, and we do this a lot in Giant Nation, for one game, for one shining Sunday, we win. We win. Scott says they'll win today and lose the next 7 games. Yep, T-Brad's there. Omega Supreme says DJ's 24 nickname should be Tin Man. He's got to oil him up and knock the rust off. Karma has spun the block on the Giants. We lose this game, then bottom sags and falls out. Blazing, I'm saying we're winning. I'm saying we're winning. I'm saying we are going forward. For 1 week, we are going to look like an NFL team. The problem is, like I said, if you go by my rankings, I got Washington, New York Giants, Carolina Panthers. And I love it because the Giant Nation gets so hyped up when we beat a bad team. When it's the bad team bowl and we win, everyone gets so excited. Everyone gets so pumped up. But then we lose. Make sure you hit the chat before you leave. Hit the like before you leave. Mr. McCormick says, I've been really busy lately, but I think this team is cooked. Bad roster, bad management, bad coaching. Well, those are what we refer to as the big three. But for one day, guys, for one day, have some glee, have some excitement, have a little bit of aura, because I think we win. And then I think shit just rolls downhill after that. I said it before. I think we started this season 1-1, and then we dropped 7 in a row. So for one day, it may be a bad game to watch. It may not be a good game to watch. It may not be a fun game to watch. It may be one of those standard, oh my God, why the hell am I watching this game? But for one day, we're going to be winners. All the Daniel Jones fans can have their moment. Year 6. But, you know, like I said, it's going to be what it's going to be. I want to thank everyone for tuning in and tuning out, because you know what? This is your Giant Trade Talk, powered by Online Big Blue LLC. And as always, I want to thank James. I want to thank Big Don. I want to thank T-Brad. Well, we didn't see T-Brad. We'll see T-Brad next week, hopefully. And as always, guys, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And you know what? I'm out of here.